Just as a quick backstory, just recently, as of this year, beginning of this year, I got into handgun shooting, and I found that I really enjoy it. I previously wasn't a big fan of guns, but I took it up, went to the range a couple times, and I really find myself enjoying it. Now, the one thing I don't enjoy is the fact that it is a rather expensive hobby. The ammunition alone can set you back quite a bit because I can, even at my limited experience, I've had some training, but my limited experience, I find myself going through 100, 200 rounds easily at the range within just an hour. So that brings me to the product I want to talk about today. I found this on the web. I can't remember who guided me to this or who showed me this product for the first time, but it's called Itarget, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy this product. Basically, it's a system that allows you to train on accuracy, on speed in your home. So you avoid range fees, you avoid ammunition, paying for ammunition. Now, nothing is going to perfectly simulate being on the range, whether indoor or outdoor, because you're not going to get the recoil, you're not going to get the same somewhat stress levels when you're at home with this product. But I swear by this. I got it just a couple weeks ago, and I've been on it every day since I got it. So I'm going to minimize the talking. I know I hate it with product videos where people just talk and yap, so we're going to get right to it. So upon opening the box, you get, you see at the back, you get your instructions. Of course, we're just going to toss those aside. And let me just say, this is not a very difficult product to set up. I had it up and running. I'm not the brightest guy in the bunch, but I had it up and running under 10 minutes, I want to say. So we're going to put the instructions to the side, and you get your target. There you go. Put that over here for now. And the sled. All right. So basically, this system uses your smartphone as kind of a sensor, if you will. So when this first comes, I think it came with this separated. So the first step is just putting this together. All you do is slide this in, and it's adjustable. And then you take your target, and if you can see here, there's a slot here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. There's a slot here. And on the target board itself, it's got a groove to it. And that just slides right into here. Okay, so that's pretty much all set up there. Now there's some tweaks we have to do, but I also want to point out that this little sled here, this is where your phone will go, your smartphone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. I prefer the iPhone, but as you can see, this is expandable, so your phone just slips right in there. So once we have this all set up, and I apologize if this is probably looks overexposed, but I had to expose for my skin tone, and this is very bright. It's called contrast, but there is a target on this screen. I don't know if you can see that or not. But once we get that all set up, next thing we have to do is download the Itarget Pro app. You can download the app from iTunes if you're on an iPhone. If you have an Android device, wherever you download your apps from, I know it's available for Android, so you can download for that device as well. And as you can see, I've downloaded it here. So I'm going to tap on that, and it opens up, and we have some options to purchase different modes. I use the bullseye for now. There's quick draw, which I don't know if you can see that. And there's also coming soon, high score. I think, well, the bullseye one comes with the app, but you can purchase, I think it's like $4.99 quick draw for $4.99. And then I'll probably get the high score when it comes out, when it's available. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the bullseye mode. So by tapping on that, we get the warning that says do not proceed until you have completed these steps. And it basically goes through some pretty obvious and common sense warnings. Remove the magazine and all ammunition from your firearm. Check the chamber of your firearm to confirm it's empty. Remove all ammunition from the practice area and place it in a secured area. And remove any other firearms that you're not using for this. So we're going to do that. I'm going to be using my FNX 45. I just got the tactical laser and flashlight on it. I just think it looks really badass. This is one of the guns I use for home defense. So I love it. It's easy to shoot. And I'm not that great a shooter just yet, but I highly recommend the weapon. So yeah, just to show you that it is clear. No magazine. Magazine is empty. Matter of fact, we won't even need the magazine, so I'm going to put that to the side. But there you go. Nothing in it. So we're safe. So going back to the app, I'm going to tap continue. And I haven't really worked this out yet, but you see here it says enter distance. So you tap that and you can enter, however far away you're going to be from the target. I am now up to, let's say, 10 to 15 yards. So I believe that's like 30 feet. I'm not really sure. But suffice it to say, you can. It's all in feet, not yards. So you can select, once you do the math, you can select the distance, and then I guess you have to just measure it out on your own. Your distance. I just walk using my feet as a measure of how far I am from the target. So if I go 30 feet, I just count 30 steps, and I assume I'm 30 feet away. So now we're going to place the phone into the sled, and we do that simply. As I said, this slides out, so we place it in, and there you have it. The next step is, and I found this a little tricky, but you want to make sure that the screen here, the target, is aligned to the screen of the phone. So what you have to do is just kind of play with it, adjust the phone. You can use the zoom feature because it's basically using your camera at this point. The camera, the rear camera is shooting the target. It's getting an image of the target. So you can use your zoom. You can zoom to adjust it, but you want it so that the target fills the frame. Okay, we're kind of close there. So now I need to slide my phone up a bit, tilt it forward. This is probably the most difficult part I found. Now, it's a little bit off on the edge there. I've got a little bit of that. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but rather than mess with the phone, because this does not move left or right, so I need to slide this to the left. But since this doesn't move, this does move, so I'll slide that way. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, I don't think it needs to be perfect. You just don't want the target to overshoot the phone, the camera. But I think that's okay. All right. Next thing we do is we use the pinch feature of the phone. Tap it. And you get a red circle. Actually, use 2 fingers to tap. And you want to position that circle, which is your target area, and you want the red circle to basically fill the target area on the image. So hopefully you saw that. I'll do it one more time. As you pinch, you can pinch, expand or decrease like you normally would any image on an iPhone. And as you can see, the red circle gets larger or smaller. and then position it so that as best you can so that the circle matches the size of the target. Okay, I think that's probably close enough. Okay, so now we've set our target area on the iPhone or your Android device. Some other little tidbits here. We have the screwdriver icon. Tap on that. It's like settings. Real quick, this will help with the lighting environment that you're shooting in, because obviously there's going to be a laser hitting this target, and you might have to adjust for the lighting situation in case it's dark or too light. If it's too light, you might get some misfires on the target because it's light sensitive. So you have automatic, which I've never had a problem with. I'm just keeping it automatic. Indoors or low light, again, I've never had to use it. And also you have this sensitivity down here. Let's see if we can play with that. Again, I've never had a problem, so I've never had to do it, but you want to see a completely black screen. If you're seeing, I'm trying to increase the sensitivity. I don't know if you can see, but there's some little spectral ghost-like images, which means that there's too much light hitting the target that it'll miscue. But I had the sensitivity turned all the way up, so I'm going to bring that back down to see nothing but black. And in the instructions, it says if you have a problem with this, what you want to do is point your laser, which I'm going to get into in the next piece. But you want to point the laser at the target, and you want to adjust this until all you see is the red dot of the laser. But again, I've never had a problem with it. I'm just gonna leave it there. Hopefully we won't have a problem this time. Score display, you can activate that here. So right now it's turned off. I turned it back on, and that allows you to see your score based on where you've hit the target. So the outermost circle is 4. Again, I apologize if you can't see. Let me reduce the exposure so you can see. Just there you go. So the outer portion of the target is 4, and it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the center is 10. So that you can keep score of where you've hit. So now we've got the phone set up. It's now shooting a target area. So now I'm going to hit the return arrow. We're back into bullseye mode, and let's just say if I wanted to get out of this mode and select one of the other modes that we talked about earlier, I can hit home, and then if I had quick draw, I could select that. Once high score comes and I buy that, I can select that. But again, we're just shooting bullseye, just working on accuracy. And every time you go back home, you're going to get this warning screen. And of course, as I've learned in the short months that I've been shooting, you can never be warned or alerted too many times. So we hit continue. We're back in bullseye mode. The phone is focused up. It maintains our settings, and now we're ready to shoot. With the Itarget, you can purchase it with a laser bullet. And basically, this is just a bullet that once you hit the firing pin, once you pull the trigger and hit the firing pin, it hits this portion of the bullet right here, and that causes it to emit a laser. So now you can. I think I purchased this the sled for, it was under $100, but you can get the sled and you can get a targeting bullet, and they come in different calibers. This is a 45. I purchased a 9mm, and I have a 380 because I have those weapons as well. And I think the package, it was a reasonable price. It was not too expensive. It was less than some other devices that I have that I practice with. But fortunately, this is a laser light bullet. This is not an Itarget product. Itarget sells its own laser bullets, but since I had bought another device and I purchased this this laser bullet, it's called Laser Light. It works with the Itarget device. So if you have a laser light bullet or another laser bullet, you do not need to purchase the Itarget bullet, which they're probably going to hate me for saying that. But hey, this is, like I said, it's an expensive hobby, so I want to save you some money where I can. So this bullet will work fine with the Itarget. So now what we want to do is just insert the laser bullet. I don't know if that's the right term for it. Like I said, I'm new to all this, so I might be using the wrong terminology, but just go with me. You want to insert the bullet into the pistol. Again, gun has been cleared. Nothing, I don't know if you can see, it's really dark in there, but no magazine, nothing in there. Want to insert the bullet into the weapon. Then you want to rack the slide. And there you go. Okay. Now the one thing is, I also have I have an LCP, Ruger LCP, that has a laser light on it, but it's built into the handle, the grip, so that once you grab the grip, this is not, obviously this is not an LCP, but just try to picture the button of the laser light of the laser is right here. So it's kind of hard not to trigger that laser. And every time I trigger the laser that comes from the mounted laser on that gun, it always triggers a hit on the target. So if you have a laser on your gun, you want to not activate it while you are using this product, because it will register as a hit. You only want the laser coming from the laser bullet to hit the target. So now that we've got everything set up here, now it's time for us to start shooting. And I just want to say that I've got the target a little lower than you would normally have it for shooting, because I just don't feel like, I'm too lazy to reset everything. So I just want to demonstrate how it works. So that's my excuse if my shots really suck. I'm just going to shoot five rounds. We're not actually shooting live rounds, of course. We're using the bullet, that's the laser bullet that's in the target, but I'm going to take 5 shots just to demonstrate how it works. Now, the one thing you want to do, and sometimes I forget this and I'm shooting, I'm like, why isn't it registering? You have to hit the green arrow, well, there's an arrow with a green circle on it. You have to hit that, tap that, and that tells the device that you are ready to start. So we're going to hit that. Now we have a thumbs up in green. We have a thumbs down in red. We have a score, which is highlighted, and we have shots. So it's going to keep track of a score, and it's going to keep track of the number of shots that we take. We're just going to do 5. See how we do. Okay, so listen, please do not look at that and think that I am an excellent shooter. I was standing maybe, I don't know, 10 feet away, and with a 45 caliber weapon, and the FNX is so heavy that it really can lull you into a false sense of accuracy, because it's such a heavy gun that it's easy to keep steady. Just for the hell of it, I'm going to take 5 more shots. I'm going to try to step a little further away and see how we do. Okay, I'm going to say I'm now roughly about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet away. Let's see what we got. Okay, I noticed that there was one misfire. I'm not sure why that happened. It's the first time it's happened. I guess nothing's perfect, but so yeah, I mean, I did pretty good, but again, I was cheating a bit. Typically, I tend to stand 7 yards to 10 yards away, and I do okay. Not perfect, but okay. So let's say I want to lie to my friends and say, man, I was standing 20 yards away. Look how good I did. I want to save that image. What I would do is save it as a photo. So I would hit the thumbs up, and then it has 2 arrows, a download arrow in green and a return arrow in red. I will hit the download arrow. It says Itarget would like to access your photos. Okay. And it says screenshot was saved to photos. Okay. If I didn't want to save that, if I just wanted to erase that session, I would have hit the red circle that had the thumbs down in it, and it would have just set me up back into this mode where I'm ready to shoot again. Another thing that's really cool about this is that if you're using your iPhone, maybe you can do this on an Android with other third-party items, I'm not sure. But with iPhone, if you have Apple TV connected to, a larger monitor that you use for everyday viewing, you can AirPlay the image on the smartphone, on the iPhone, to that monitor. So in this case, I have it connected to my small, I don't know, it's a 21-inch screen down in the basement. Sometimes I take this upstairs to the 46-inch flat screen that we have upstairs, and it'll display a larger image. You can look right up at your screen. It's easier to see than trying to watch it on the phone itself. And it also transfers the sound, so you can turn that baby up and makes you feel like you're really at the range. So there you have it. That's how simple it is to set this thing up and start practicing on the target. It took us virtually no time to get that up and running. And like I said, when I set it up, I didn't even really look at the instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I can't tell you how much I love this product. It's fun. It helps you with accuracy. It saves you money. Now, again, there's nothing like going to the range and feeling that recoil in your hands and trying to reset your on the sights on your weapon. You're not going to get that. As a matter of fact, when I shoot, I kind of mimic. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I mimic that bounce, that recoil. So I know I'm not fooling myself, but it is a great alternative to if you don't have time after work or whatever to get to the range like you would like to. Set this up for under $100. I'll put on the screen how much it costs in total, but for very little money. And there are more expensive items out there. I've purchased some of them, but this one, for what you pay, it's easily the best value out there. The Itarget. And I'll put on the screen the website where you can find this. And they shipped it immediately. I got it within, I don't know, under 3 days. So thumbs up. I highly recommend this product.